So
Word.
how long did you wait after you met Chino before you asked him about that situation?
Pin it up, pin it up.
And again, man, I spoke on the Don't Quote Me podcast. I spoke on Chino and Pop have, speaking and building before he passed away and letting it be known that they had and the differences out and everything was cool. And for some reason, like a lot of Pac fans just didn't believe me and act like I was trying to disrespect Pac or something. Like, I don't get it. Like, I was a fan of Pac too. I'm not a fanatic. I was a fan of Pac as well. Like, and I was actually around during his run as a kid. So like I saw this shit in real time. Like I was around for most of that shit. You feel me? So like I was a Pac fan. Like I have friends that have worked with Pac. You feel me? Like I have friends that were in the studio with Pac. You know what I mean? So like I just speak but when I speak on that situation, I'm speaking on the facts. I'm just telling you for whatever reason, some people didn't realize that Chi and Pac was, had, gotten right. So I just figured I'd speak on it on the podcast because I got a platform to do it. For whatever reason, some people didn't believe it or think like, first of all, I don't have a history of cap. Look at all the stories I tell online. Everybody be like, yo, that's fact. I done told a million stories online and I don't get called cap on it because I just tell it how I see it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just funny how when I say a Pac story, all of a sudden, like there's some people that just like, just all of a sudden I'm a liar now because I said something that they didn't know or didn't want to hear. And the shit is, yeah, Pac, she said that line about Pac, it was a punchline. And that's how I know people ain't from that era. You feel me? It was like, yeah, Pac felt some kind of way about it, and he had the right to feel some kind of way about it because somebody mentioned his name. It is what it is. But if you listen to hip hop at that time, it was it was just a punchline. Like Chino XL has said worse shit about himself, like in his bars. So it's like if you listen to Chino XL, he says shit about himself. Worse like he doesn't say worse than the line said about Pac. Like he says that shit about himself. Like so it's like that was just a punchline. It was just a bar. Like and but they cleared it up and I just spoke on it. And they really did in real life clear it up, reiterate, you know what I'm saying? And it was good when he passed away. You know what I mean? RP to both of them, you know what I'm saying? RP, all the outlaws, all of them, man, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, just want to clear that up again, man. I have no issue. I fucked with Pod too, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
I'm
just
really
not a
glad that you
fucking
brought this up because I had it written down already because I was going to bring it up, right? So it's real interesting because I think, and I'm a big Tupac fan. Like, you know what I mean? Like he definitely was one of my favorite rappers growing up. So, and this is me saying it, right? But Tupac, as you get older, you realize as you age, he was going through a lot of things and he was paranoid to the sense of that a lot of he took what people said like everybody was against him, right? So when he heard Chino say that, of course he was gonna take it like, oh, you trying to come at me too now? Like already got Bad Boy and got Nas and all these other people or whatever. Like now you just another one added to the list that's coming towards me, right? Coming at me. So that's why he took it the way that he did, right? But I do believe you that they did squash it because not only is Chino from New Jersey, but the Outlaws is from Jersey, right? So
and one of the outlaws lived in the same complex as Chino, like within the past decade and change before my man left. Like if anyway, yeah, bro, they did good. I just spoke on it because I felt unfortunately my man ain't here to say nothing about it. So I figured if I have a place to sit and I know people are gonna watch, I'm gonna speak on my people and I'm gonna speak facts on my people. So that's the only reason I brought it up. Like you know,
so
word.
how long did you wait after you met Chino before you asked him about that situation?
A minute. I can't give you no exact time, but it was definitely a minute.
It was like
Because
years.
Yeah, definitely more than a year.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely more than a year or two. like I had to make we was good like that because me like we developed into brothers. So like I spoke to Chino about everything. So like I could like at the end is whatever. Like we spoke with shit that I would never speak on the interviews. You feel me? Like so, but at the time, yeah, I didn't. But when I got cool with him, I was like, I gotta ask this motherfucker this shit. It's a fucking must. Like, what do you mean? I gotta ask this motherfucker. You know what I mean? But I was apprehensive at first because I don't want to be that dude either. Like, you know what I'm saying? But no, I definitely waited. But I asked him, and he told me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure some of that shit probably just came out in combo anyway. But whatever, yeah. But I definitely waited to ask him. I didn't have, I didn't want to play myself, respectfully. She was the big homie in this hip hop shit to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up buying his shit too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's like so, we were brothers, but he was still, I gave him that respect. You know what I'm saying? He was the big bro. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. And shout out to Direct, but one thing I saw you said on his podcast was that you were trying to get Chino to really tell his life story, like in these podcasts and everything, right? But he never got around to doing it.
yeah.
And I just want to say that you're completely right, because like in this era, it's more than just the music. Like we want to see the artists telling their story in these long form contents and like things that we didn't know and add context to things, right? And it's crazy that you say that, because I was talking to my bro Big Lou, and he was telling me, yo, reach out to Chino. This was literally a month before Chino passed away. And I reached out to Chino and I was like, yo, introduced myself and was like, yo, my bro Big Lou from Camden told me to reach out to you, and I got this platform. I really want to cover your story and stuff. And he left me on scene, and I was like thinking to myself at the time, I was like, oh, I probably don't got a big enough platform yet and everything. And then next thing you know, a month later, we get the news that he passed away. And it's really sad that he didn't ever get to really tell his life in his own words from his perspective in that way. And that's why I realized how important it is for artists to be able to do this.
I was in his ear heavy, man. And that's one of the reasons, like, I sit down more. I mean, I've done plenty of interviews throughout the years and shit, but that's why that's why I'm more proactive in speaking to the cameras now, because, some of this shit needs to be preserved. And, a lot of people ain't here to tell their story. And I can't tell a story like Son can tell his story, fam. I can't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to.
Right.
But that's why I was like, yo, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, you know what? I got a story to tell. So that's why I sit down more often now, you know what I'm saying, to fuck with people like you. You know what I mean? So, we can get this word out, because we do have an important story to tell. And you know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not on that fucking 50 list, you know what I'm saying? I've been more active than most of them niggas too. I could talk my Max B shit, you know what I'm saying?
But wouldn't you rather have control of your own narrative though? That's why I think it's so important, right? Like, wouldn't you rather have, because they say an unchecked lie becomes the truth. So after you die, you're going to have all these people telling these stories a certain way. And if we don't have you telling it, how you saw it, how you believed it to happen, your truth and everything, that it's going to be presented the way that everybody else presents it.
Right. And some people might not care. Some people might not give a fuck. So and that's all y'all. But
Right.
But yeah, if you're in this realm that we in doing what we do, it would make sense. You don't have to speak on every single thing. And there's certain shit I ain't gonna speak on. There's certain motherfuckers I will let dwell in obscurity forever. You know what I'm saying? But there's certain shit that you need to speak on, man. Yeah.
For sure.